I never thought I'd say this out loud, but the person I feared the most in my life wasn't a ghost or a monster. It was my roommate, not because he was loud or annoying, but because he was the kind of person who hides real evil behind a smile. And I only discovered it when it was almost too late. Let me take you back to the beginning. A year ago, I was just an average 23-year-old starting a new job in a new city. Rent was expensive, so I went searching for a roommate. That's when I saw the ad. Room for rent. Quiet neighborhood. Must be clean and respectful. $300 per month. No smoking. No drama. I replied. The guy's name was Gavin. He was in his late 20s. Tall. Well-spoken. Clean house. A little too clean, actually. Everything looked like a furniture showroom. Neatly aligned chairs, spotless floors, not even dust on windowsills. Still, I was impressed. We chatted briefly, and he gave off calm vibes. Said he worked from home, mostly kept to himself, and just wanted someone normal to share the bills with. I should have asked what his version of normal was. The first week was fine. Gavin kept his distance. We didn't talk much except for good morning and hey here and there. I figured he was just private, but I noticed some odd things early on. He always locked his bedroom door. From the inside, even during the day. The basement was always locked too. He told me it was just storage and not safe because of loose floorboards. He had no social media, no photos in the house. Not even a family picture. Still, I try not to judge. I'd met introverts before. But then, the nights started getting weird. Around 2 or 3 a.m., I'd wake up to shuffling sounds. Footsteps in the hallway. Whispers, like someone was pacing slowly. I'd get up, open my door. Nothing. Then I started hearing soft tapping, coming from inside the walls. One night, I knocked back. The tapping stopped immediately. Next morning, Gavin acted like nothing happened. He smiled at me over coffee and said, "Sleep okay?" I lied. Yeah. But inside, I was unsettled. One day, I came home early from work because of a power outage at the office. Gavin wasn't expecting me. The front door was unlocked. The house was unusually silent. As I walked in, I heard faint noises from his room. I crept closer. That's when I saw something that chilled me to my core. Through the slightly open door, I saw Gavin watching video footage of me. Sleeping. He had a monitor with several windows open. Different angles of my bedroom, including one from above my bed. I froze. What the hell? I pushed the door open hard. What the F, Gavin? He spun around so fast his chair fell back. Oh, I was just checking the house security. Sorry, I should have told you I had cameras. It's for safety, he said quickly, with a nervous chuckle. I backed away. In my room, he raised his hands. I swear it's not what it looks like, but his eyes were dead calm, like this was normal. I told him to remove every single camera or I'd call the cops. He nodded, apologized, and said he'd take care of it. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I tried to leave for work, but the front door was chained from the outside. My windows wouldn't budge. Sealed shut. When I finally managed to break through the old kitchen window and get out, Gavin was standing in the driveway, smiling. "You could have just asked," he said deadpan. I called in sick that day. I went back inside, but I kept my phone hidden and turned on the voice recorder, just in case. Over the next week, Gavin's behavior became more disturbing. He would sit at the dinner table and just stare at me while I ate. He stopped pretending to work. He started wearing the same clothes. His eyes looked darker, like he hadn't slept in days. One night, I walked past his room and saw him kneeling on the floor, surrounded by drawings, weird, messy sketches of me, disfigured with crosses over my eyes. Another night, I found a tooth in my laundry. Just one. Human. Bloody. I asked him straight up, "Gavin, what's going on?" He smiled like a child who just got caught with candy. "Sometimes things get messy," he whispered. I slept with a knife under my pillow after that. I knew I had to check the basement. He always kept it locked. But one day, while he was out for groceries, I found the spare key taped behind a fridge. I opened the basement door. It was pitch black. The air smelled like mold and bleach. As I walked down slowly with my phone flashlight, the temperature dropped. The light flickered. Then I saw it. Chains, cuffs, a mattress with red stains, a small table with knives, cameras, old clothes. One shirt still had blood on it. There were photos on the wall. Girls, boys, different faces, all scratched out. One of the pictures was me, and under it, in red marker, it said, "Next." I ran upstairs. When Gavin returned, I stood in the living room, holding the photo. "You sick freak. I saw everything." He tilted his head. "You shouldn't have gone down there." I dialed 911, but before the call went through, he lunged at me. We struggled. He slammed me against the wall. I stabbed at him with the kitchen knife from my pocket, caught his shoulder. He let out a laugh, not a cry of pain, a laugh. Then he whispered, "It's not over." I ran. Cops arrived. He was gone, vanished. Police found some evidence. Blood samples, hidden cameras, tooth fragments. They ran tests. The blood belonged to 4 different people. Gavin was never found. To this day, his real name is still unknown. He'd used a fake ID, no fingerprints in any database. They think he's a serial stalker or worse. I live in a different state now. Change my number. Use fake names on leases. But sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night to find my bedroom door slightly open and a note on my pillow that simply says, "Still next." Story 2. I'm writing this now because I'm afraid I might forget the details soon. Or worse, someone else might fall into the same trap. You see, I thought I found the perfect roommate. Quiet, clean, barely spoke. But the truth is, my roommate wasn't human. Maybe a ghost. Maybe something worse. I still don't know. Let me start from the beginning. It all started 6 months ago when I moved to a small college town. I had just transferred to a new university and couldn't afford a dorm. So, I started looking for roommates online. Craigslist, Facebook. A few shady offers came up, but one caught my eye. Quiet room available in shared house. $200 per month. No pets. No loud music. Must be respectful of personal space. Female preferred. Available immediately. The rent was crazy cheap, and the house was only 10 minutes from campus. I thought it was too good to be true, but I needed a place fast. I messaged the poster. Her name was Alira. Weird name, but whatever. She replied right away. She said she was private, didn't like noise, and worked from home. I asked if we could video chat, but she said her webcam was broken. Still, she sounded polite over text. I decided to take the risk. When I got there, the house was odd. It was an old Victorian-style home, tall, narrow, with faded green paint peeling from the wood. The porch creaked under my feet, and vines climbed up the walls like hands trying to get in. But the inside was surprisingly clean. Quiet. Almost too quiet. Alira wasn't there when I arrived. She had texted, "I've left the key under the flower pot. Your room is upstairs, last door on the left." I found the key, unlocked the door, and the second I stepped inside, the air changed. Heavier, colder, like the house itself had just inhaled. My room was cozy but very old. Floral wallpaper, creaky floors, a full-length mirror bolted to the wall, which was strange, but I didn't think much of it. Later that night, I finally met Alira. first encounter, it was around midnight. I was brushing my teeth when I saw her in the hallway mirror. Pale, very pale, long black hair, damp and stringy. She wore a white nightgown. She didn't walk. She kind of glided, but I thought maybe I was just sleepy. "Hey," I said awkwardly. "I'm Alex. Just moved in." She nodded slowly. Her lips barely moved. "I know. Welcome." And then she turned and walked into her room. No smile. No warmth. I tried to laugh it off. Maybe she was just shy. Maybe it was just the dim hallway light making her look so ghostly. But something about her voice stuck with me. Hollow, like it echoed from somewhere far away. Over the next few days, I started noticing things. Weird things. She never left the house. Not once. I went to classes, to the store, on walks. Every time I came back, she was home, either standing at the window or just sitting in the living room, staring at the wall. She never ate. I cooked meals, used the kitchen, but I never saw her cook or eat. There were no dirty dishes, no groceries with her name, nothing. She never used lights. Her room was always dark. I passed by once at night and saw her sitting perfectly still on the floor, eyes wide open, glowing faintly in the darkness. I swear I saw her smile at me, but her lips never moved. One night, I was in the bathroom brushing my hair. The mirror was fogged up from a hot shower. I leaned forward to wipe it clean and saw her standing behind me. My heart jumped out of my chest. I spun around. Nothing. No one was there. I ran back to my room and locked the door. My hands were shaking. I couldn't sleep. Every tiny creak in the house felt like footsteps coming toward me. It got worse. Much worse. I started waking up with bruises on my arms. Long, finger-shaped marks. I'd hear whispers in the walls. My things began moving. My backpack would end up in the closet. My phone charger would vanish for days, then reappear coiled under my pillow. One night, I woke up to the sound of scratching, like nails on wood. I turned on the light and found Elira crouched in the corner of my room, her back turned to me, scratching the floor with her bare hands, over and over. Deep, bloody gouges. "Elira, what the hell are you doing?" She didn't move. I ran out. Slept in my car that night. I tried to leave. The next morning, I packed my stuff. I had enough, but the front door wouldn't open. It was locked from the outside. No matter how hard I pulled, twisted, or kicked, it didn't budge. I went to call for help. No signal. My phone showed no service. The Wi-Fi was gone too. I checked the windows. Nailed shut. Every single one. That's when I realized I wasn't living with a shy girl. I was living with something else. That night, I couldn't sleep. I felt like someone or something was watching me. I turned my head toward the full-length mirror in my room, and I froze. My reflection was smiling, but I wasn't. My face grinning wide, eyes dead black. I backed away. The reflection didn't. It just stood there, smiling. Then it whispered, "She's part of me now." The glass cracked. I screamed. I confronted her, barged into her room. Empty, just a rotting old crib, burned wallpaper, a charred photo of a girl with no eyes. I found an old diary buried under the floorboards. It was Elira's. Turns out, she died in that house 30 years ago. A fire. Locked in her room. Her parents tried to hide the truth. Said she ran away, but her spirit stayed. Lonely, angry, hungry. She lures in roommates. Takes their souls. That night, I woke up to her standing over me. Eyes black, jaw hanging open, blood dripping from her fingers. "I'm cold," she said. "Let me wear your skin." I ran, down the stairs, through the dark hall. The door burst open this time, as if the house was done playing. I never looked back. Now, It's been months. I still dream of her face. Sometimes I wake up and find scratch marks on my floor, the smell of smoke in my sheets, a reflection that smiles before I do. She's not done with me. She said I could leave, but she never said I could escape.